Greetings, humanoids. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien. Yesterday I introduced you to a magical exercise which would raise your heart energy, call it love if you might, to your third eye area in order to combine itself, being overpowered by heart energy and cleanse your mind of the residue of old habits, thoughts, preoccupation and fears. And if you do this so-called magical exercise, preferable every day in the morning, you start the day anew with a clear, relaxed mind. And all the things which come your way during the daytime are being seen in a different light, and you have the opportunity to act up on the occurrences and circumstances of the day from several different angles which were not available to you before, when your mind went only in one direction. This gives you the power of choice. And the one who has a choice has also freedom. This exercise yesterday, I called it a magical exercise, but magic is only a word for something which is not understood, is obscure, in the dark. People have no explanation for, so they call it the will of God. There are spirits of power and so on, which is definitely not the case. Everything, if properly looked at, has an explanation. So let's call the exercise from yesterday not magical anymore, but go a little bit deeper into it and call it a magnetic exercise, which is more proper. It's a magnetic exercise because a human being, like any other creature, even as the planet Earth itself and the whole universe itself, is a constant magnetic force in movement. That's why yesterday also from the lower part of the torso to the top of the head, I moved these electric magnetic fields around you, these waves. I brought them into movement, which can be easily done by every single one of you. So, with other words, we brought the magnetic waves of your body into more intense movement, and this way we were able to get a more intense sensation of energy located in the heart area to combine it and get better results. The whole universe is made only of one stuff, of magnetic field waves. These magnetic field waves are of an enormous multiplicity. There are so many of them interfering with each other, interconnecting with each other, that there is the phenomena of mirroring. Different field waves of magnetism mirror each other, and that's what's called consciousness, conscious mind. Mind is nothing but mirrored magnetic wave energy, and that's all what is there in the universe. I don't want to get into the pole shift anymore, where these magnetic waves are going to be reversing and will bring a lot of upheaval onto planet Earth and have a big impact on all living beings, including humans. I've spoken about that more than enough. What I want to speak of is, even under normal circumstances, since there is a tremendous constant movement of magnetism, let's say only on planet Earth, there are spots which are less, and there are spots that are more charged with magnetism. The spots that are less charged with magnetism, or have hardly any magnetism at all, close to zero, called portals or portholes, which we use to enter and leave, in this case, planet Earth. Because everything is done on a mental basis, we, the tall white aliens, also move only on a mental basis from our home planet to planet Earth or any other planet in the universe. And this can only be done on a close to zero magnetism spot, which there are plenty on planet Earth as well. But there are also spots of high magnetism, and I will explain to you right now a little bit about the difference. First of all, we, as we call ourselves here on planet Earth, when we take on the form of a human, which allows us to speak out of, are on our home planet not of such a dense physical form as, for example, a human being. We are much more exposed and sensitive to the universal magnetism. For that, we have not only the ability to manipulate it better, since our sensitivity is much higher, we have a much better understanding of magnetism than, for example, a human being who is much more dense and does not see things in such a detail as we do. As a matter of fact, you are not even able to see a magnetic field which you are made out of yourself. All you see is the cluster of magnetic forces which are bodily cells, and then again which becomes matter. That's what you see of yourself, but you don't see really what you consist of. But since we, the tall white aliens, or let's say it better, the sleepers on our own planet, are much more sensitive to magnetism because we are not as densely built, are of course predestined to be better manipulators than, for example, humans. We create the universe, we create the multiple dimensions, which are endless, in a field of low magnetism. Because only there where there is low magnetism, these tremendous changes can be put in place and initiated. That when the magnetism changes, when the forces of magnetism become stronger, that what we put in a seed, so to speak, of magnetic manipulation can manifest eventually when the magnetic forces become stronger. This is also, for an example, on planet Earth, low magnetic forces are places which are usually more peaceful. These are places where it's quiet, where there is some kind of a common relaxation. The forces of nature don't interfere violently with each other. And then you have these high magnetic areas, highly charged areas. These are areas where violence occurs more often. You can have this on a bigger scale. When you look at this globe, you have countries which see war much more frequently than some other places. You have houses and cities where there is more murder, killing, and negativity going on than in others. And this is only the outcome of magnetism. As more intense the magnetism is, as more intense are the occurrences and the clashing of the different magnetic fields. The interconnecting of magnetic fields when it comes to high frequency can be observed even by human scientists. And if these human scientists observe interconnecting of magnetic fields, and they have a little bit, as I said, a little bit of fantasy, they will see a phenomena which is mind-blowing. Because when magnetic fields interconnect, the form which appears in front of the observer's eyes resemble that of man. The pattern and movements of magnetic energies resemble the outer form of man, which is been in times of magic also been known as the universal man. Everything, no matter how small or how large in this universe, which is of magnetic waves consistent, reflecting, becoming mind, is nothing but always the reoccurrence of the universal man. That what I did yesterday was just charging this universal man, manipulating this universal man in each one of you to move certain fields from one place to the next, and this way to create a new reaction, a new being basically, even if it is only slightly different than the one you were before. And that, what I just showed yesterday, by being somebody before the exercise and the one after the exercise. Even if you consciously forget the exercise altogether, but a change has occurred already. And this change is actually the process of creating new dimensions. Exactly the same way we, the tall white aliens, create one dimension after the next. As you follow my instructions, you are able to manipulate your energetic field, your magnetic energetic field, and from one moment to the next, you are creating a new universal man. Think about it, and with a little bit of fantasy you might be able to follow me, because this is basically the explanation of creation of these words. You're Rudolf of Germany.